What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Coco here, back with another banger for y'all boys today. And hey, today we're gonna be reacting to Elden Ring, the Shadow Erdtree, man. If y'all enjoy this type of content, man, make sure you hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're on the road to 3K subs, man. But the DLC comes out on the 21st of June, man. I'm super excited for that, man. And shout out to Erdtree, man. He played DLC early. He giving us some non-spoiler content, showing us the new mechanics in the game, and I'm super excited for it, man. If y'all enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and let's hop right into it, man. We just breaking it down. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is not my content. This is your content. Make sure to go sub them.
I was fortunate enough to play the first few hours of the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion, and needless to say, there is lots of yapping to be done. I'm not going to go over everything today. I'm just going to cover the gameplay elements like the new upgrade system, new weapons, spells, talismans, and other small changes. So I'm not going to talk about anything story related, not going to talk about the bosses, level design. I'll make another video talking about those things tomorrow, and also anything that I just forgot to add in this video, or if I find out new information, I'll make some Twitter posts about them. Yeah, I just made a new account recently. Surely only intelligent conversations take place there. Now, just for some more additional context, we only had an area that was roughly half the size of Limgrave to explore, and we only had 3 hours to play. So there is going to be stuff that I might have missed. I also wasn't allowed to talk to any other.
So it was like a demo almost. I wonder if they're gonna release a demo before the actual DLC come out. That'd be fire to play. I'll play a demo like that. But yeah, so it was like a demo size. FromSoft, I don't know if FromSoft, the company, actually, gave him the rights to play the game really or not. But hey.
Other content creators to share information, so anything in this video that you see is just directly from me. Well, except of the gameplay itself, I wasn't actually allowed to save my own. Bandai Namco provided me with about 13 minutes of just like random gameplay, which doesn't really show much, so I am going to be doing a lot of describing. Now we're going to start off talking about the new upgrading or leveling system. If you did not know already, there is going to be a new way to level up your character via some buffs that is specific to the DLC location. This is made so players don't just run from boss to boss and then steamroll the entire game. Now this buff is called Shadow Realm Blessing. It is upgraded similar to how you upgrade your healing flask. You grab items that are scattered throughout the world. They are in somewhat obvious locations, and you can consume these at the Site of Grace to give yourself a buff. Now from
That's interesting. So you can't just upgrade your level with runes. You got to use these buffs. That's interesting, dog. Bring a new element to the game. That's like this might as well be a Elden Ring 2 almost. I'll buy it.
my testing, this is a 5% damage increase, and I believe a +3 to all of your damage negation stats. I didn't actually test out the damage negation thoroughly, so I'm not sure if it's +3 or like an 8% increase, but it is going to be somewhat of a significant amount for every single buff. Now this buff is only applicable to the Lands of Shadows, not the Lands Between, which is the base game. You can also tell the buff is active because all of your stats in the menu will be highlighted in yellow. Now you might think that 5% isn't that much, but in my 3 hours of playing, I did manage to grab enough items to boost my Shadow Realm Blessing 3 times. Now kind of similar to Golden Seeds, you're going to need multiple of this item. The more that you actually upgrade it, you only need 1 the first time, but then you're going to need 2 for the second, 2 for the third, and then 3 for the fourth. And yes, every buff does give that same 5% damage boost. Now I'm not sure what the maximum amount actually is, but my guess is that you probably can boost it up to 10 times. And also this buff is not reversible. Now there is going to be another item to boost your Spirit Ashes too. It still falls under Shadow Realm Blessing, but it is required.
So everything basically is like shadow theme. Therefore the name is man. Just when I thought I had the base game figured out, they throw another curveball at me, dog. I just started playing Elden Ring not too long ago, man, and I'm loving it, man. I just beat the Fire Giant not too long ago on Xbox, and I started over on PlayStation. I'm on the third boss again, on the not a samurai build. What's that called? A sword and shield build? A clear? It's something like that. I forgot the name, but I'm having a lot of fun over there, man. I'm trying to make a Grand Night build over on PlayStation 2. I got both, so if anybody want to play when the new DLC come out, man, let me know, man. I got both consoles, man. The only thing I don't have it on, regrettably, is PC, because I don't have the proper parts to play it on PC yet. But I'm super excited for this, man, honestly.
As different items, so you don't have to worry about picking and choosing between your Spirit Ashes or yourself. They're going to be separate. Now these items are also pretty easy to acquire. One of them was actually dropped off like a random enemy in like the hallway of a legacy dungeon. So do also keep in mind that it can drop off enemies too. Now I don't know the amount of which they do.
That's a new gravity spell, bro. That's not that's something else. What's that name of that spell in there? Rock Sling? That's not Rock Sling. That's something completely different. I like that. Mage build, first build. When the DLC come out, let me know. What builds y'all making when it first come out? Let me know something.
Do get buffed by. I'm going to assume that's going to be very similar to our buff. But yeah, I didn't really test it out because I didn't really use any spirit ashes at all. I was busy testing like basically everything else. Like the weapons, there is going to be roughly 100 new weapons in Shadow of the Erdtree. Now obviously I didn't have access to that many. They gave me like 10 weapons right at the beginning and I found like another 5. Also, I am pretty sure that I found all 8.
That's a new attack. Oh my god. That is a new attack, and that shit was fire. Y'all rewind and check it out for yourself, but oh my god. I gotta hurry up and beat this game, man, so I can play the DLC. Oh, you don't have to beat the whole game to play the DLC. You only have to beat Radon and Moog. I hope I'm saying their names right. I beat them on Xbox, and I gotta beat them on PlayStation.
Of the new weapon classes, I read 8 different categories, so I'm gonna just go with it, but confirmed we have light greatswords, great katanas, martial arts weapons, bear claws, those two actually might fall into the same category, duelist shields, perfume bottles, backhand blades, and throwable weapons. Now first things
first, hand swords, that is gonna be fire, bro. So instead of holding the sword like you would like this, you're gonna be holding it like this. And that's gonna be fire, bro. That's gonna be fucking fire, bro. Oh my god, I'm ready for this shit to come out, bro. Oh my god, bro. I gotta hurry up and play Elden Ring after this, man.
First, I want to talk about the light greatswords. The weapon you see on screen right now is called Milady. Now, this weapon class is obviously going to be an in-between of the greatsword and the straight sword, and their moveset is the smoothest moveset I have seen in any FromSoft game. This class is probably the highlight of all the weapons. Its light attack is a mix-up of pokes and swipes. The heavy is a bunch of swipes. The Ash of War is specific to the light greatswords. Is a cool stance to where you can either lunge or get off a flurry swiping attack, but the best part of the weapon is going to be the weapon combos. This guard counter you see on screen right now isn't actually a 3-hit combo. It's just a 2-hit combo, but the light attack follows flawlessly with the moveset that it just looks like the exact same attack. And the same as this combo right here. It's a heavy attack double swipe that has the sword finish overhead, and then when you click the light attack, it just continues the combo. And this same thing can also be done with a running attack, and it's just buttery smooth. It basically feels exactly how it looks. Now there is also a power stancing light greatsword weapon that I'm not going to disclose the name of for spoiler reasons, but I can talk about it in tomorrow's video. But this power stance combo does have the same types of combo potential, but it doesn't have both weapons swinging at the same time. And typically, dual wielding weapons that hit at the same time are just better. So for me, if I'm using the light greatswords, I'm probably going to shift towards more just two-handing the weapon. But this...
I mean, a greatsword you would normally two-handed anyway. Just like Cloud in Final Fantasy VII, he has a greatsword. He uses it two-handed. So I mean, that's just natural. But we're not gonna be able to react to this whole entire video. I might break it down honestly, but man, I'm just super duper excited for this DLC, man. This is so fire, dog. Oh my goodness. Let's hear a little bit more about the weapons, that we might cut it off here. I might break this video down into parts. But man, this is
This power stancing weapon in particular is actually an int faith weapon. Very similar to the Sword of Night and Flame, it gets split fire and magic damage, and its skill is a stance to where you can either summon a fire tornado or shoot out these like magic type of wave attacks. It is a very cool weapon. It doesn't perform as well as the Sword of Night and Flame in my opinion, but it is more fun. Now the next weapon I want to cover...
When I first got the Sword of Night and Flame, dog, I thought I was OP as fuck. I might get it on my faith build again, but I got it on my mage build and I was still doing decent damage though. So imagine me, upgrading the stats of that weapon and then upgrading the weapon on top of that. You're gonna be OP early, bro. You're gonna be OP early, bro. Ooh, I'm just trying to contain my excitement. I'm trying not to be, a fucking geek about this shit. But I'm super excited for this, bro.
Is the Great Katana. The weapon is called Great Katana, and as is the weapon category. Unfortunately, there isn't a gameplay for me to share, but the closest thing that I can really compare it to is the Kensei from For Honor. You get a mix-up of these poking attacks and these half downward chops. Your running and heavy attacks also do get pokes too. They do get bleed, and they do get a unique Ash of War option that is also a stance to where you can either do a big overhead swipe or a flurry of overhead swipes. They're going to be pretty similar to curved greatswords in terms of damage and speeds. They're all going to do slashing damage as well, although they do get less poise damage, but some of their poking attacks can come out pretty fast. And unfortunately, I didn't actually find a second one to test out the power stancing combo. The martial arts weapons and the bear claws, I think are gonna fall under the same category, even though the category...
You could make a fucking, Yuji Itadori build. Oh, that's... Oh my god, bro. Dude from Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm making him first. If you can do hand-to-hand, you can make a Goku build. There's so many people that do hand-to-hand combat that I can't even think of right now, bro. But that's just gonna be fucking... There's so many options. I love the fucking variety of the game, bro. You don't have to just stick to one class, bro. If you don't like one, you could just change it again, bro. That's... Oh my god, bro. And you have multiple save files, bro. I did not know that. We're gonna be testing some shit out, bro. This is gonna break the YouTube scale as far as content, bro. This is like unlimited content right now. There's so many variables and combinations you can do in this game, and I love it, bro. I love it, love it, love it. I still haven't even explored the first game fully. I just told y'all I just started playing this shit like 3 weeks ago, and I love being able to just, if I can't beat a boss right away, I can go back, level up, and then try it again, or upgrade my weapon, get a new spell. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many options to where if you can't beat a boss, it's another opportunity to go again and persevere and just like be able to get the job done. I love that, man. I love it, bro.
Names was actually different, but they do perform very similar. This weapon you see on screen is called
Luffy.
The dry leaf, and this weapon you see I do not recognize. It kind of looks similar to like the bear claws I got to test, but like a different color. So yeah, forgive me for not remembering. I played it like 2 weeks ago, and this gameplay was sent to me like a couple of days ago. But the way I like to categorize these weapons is that the dry leaf is kind of like a dexterity based fist weapon, and the bear claws
You got the staff on the side. Oh my god, you got the staff on the side, bro. That's so fire to me, bro. Oh my god, we're gonna be streaming this shit nonstop. I'm gonna have to take a week off when this shit come out. We might be having to pull a 24-hour stream when this shit come out, bro. Like, no, I'll probably stream this shit both my off days nonstop, bro. I'm off on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm streaming this shit both days when this shit come out, bro. Oh my god, bro.
kind of like a strength based claw weapon, because they also do get bleed as well. And in my honest and humble opinion, they're more fun than fists and claws, but they perform worse. The main reason is that none of their attacks have the weapon hit at the exact same time, which when dual wielding, this is just going to be better like almost always. It means you're just maximizing your damage in like a little amount of time possible. Now this flurry attack kick that you see is going to be an Ash of War, does get some nice amount of hype rummer.
What? How long the 21st? What is it? I'm looking at my count. Hold on, man. Hold on. Next week, bet. We got one more week. 1 week. And we lit it. Come on.
But it is a longer animation, so it might be a bit more situational. There is a cool skill for the bear claws that isn't shown, but it is a very short range single swiping attack that does get a cool animation and have high stance damage. Now, one thing we didn't actually have access to was the multi-hit talismans, and honestly just not much time, so I couldn't really test the maximum potential of these weapons. I do see these being very viable options, but it is hard to beat out weapons like the Star Fist or the Raptor Talons. The backhanded blades, the weapon that you're seeing on screen right now, is called something, I forgot the name, but they are power stancing types of weapons that are very comparable to curved swords, and probably just going to be outclassed by power stance curved swords, because the power stance curved swords swing both weapons at the same time, and they're running attacks and jumping attacks.
I still need to beat Melina, bro. I think that's the next boss fight after this, bro. Damn. I live stream Elden Ring almost every day, so y'all gonna be seeing me struggle, bro. Y'all definitely gonna be seeing me struggle, but I definitely gotta beat the game before I play the DLC. It just gotta happen.
Hit so many times that it results in very broken builds, but this thing looks cooler, and that's all that matters. But these weapons do have a couple of benefits over power stance curved swords. One, it means you just have to level up one weapon to be able to dual wield. Just in general, normally when you have the power stance or dual wield, you have to upgrade to 2 different weapons. And with a dual wielding weapon in itself, you do get access to like running heavy and running light attacks, jumping heavy and jumping light attacks, and also this power stance charged heavy attacks too. Of which the running heavy attack is very comparable to curved swords, and it might just end up doing more damage. And the charged heavy attack is actually really good. And overall, I feel like it does do more stance damage than the curved swords, especially with that Ash of War that you see here. It is a very nice lunge for not much FP, but it is somewhat harder to control. The duelist shields are something I did not test out much. I probably killed like 3.
A thrusting shield. So is that like a spear shield? What is that?
Enemies with them and then took them off. They like literally feel like playing with a regular shield, but just with a couple of extra light attacks. The range is obviously going to be their biggest downside. One thing that I actually didn't test that I wish I did is if they get
a spear shield. I knew it.
Critical attacks or not. I hope they do get critical attacks, because if they didn't, that would be kind of silly. The perfume bottles are now going to be weapons in this game via the DLC. Their light and heavy attacks do these cool projectiles, and no, they did not consume any FP. Now, I didn't have time to test their max potential, and they also didn't give us the perfume talisman to see if it actually helps boost the damage. I also didn't find a second one to test the power stancing combo, but the weapon I did test was called the Fire Spark Bottle, and I didn't really like it. The range was not that good, the moveset was pretty slow, doesn't really stagger those larger types of enemies like Omens or Knights. The stance damage doesn't seem good enough either, but once again, I didn't have enough time to make a build around it, so it is definitely going to be better than what I'm making it out to be. There are going to be a bunch of new throwable weapons in Shadow of the Erdtree. There is one that I played with that does fall under the new weapon class, that is called the Smith Script Dagger. I might be wrong on that name, it's definitely Smith something, my memory is like a little hazy. But these are basically a way to have projectiles with your light and heavy attack that do respectable damage, and they don't consume any FP. You can fully charge the heavy attacks for some better stance damage, but don't expect much. And no, the character we used did not have the arrow reach or sting talisman, so I don't know if either of those things work with this.
I never even heard of half of these talismans, bro. I couldn't even get a chance to dive in deep into the game like this. Like, this is what I love about this game, bro. Like, it's just when you think you cracked the surface, just you can get so much in depth into it, bro. It's just so amazing. I can't believe I slept on this game for so long, bro. I should have started playing this when it first came out. I didn't originally like Soul games. I tried out Bloodborne, didn't like it. Dark Souls, didn't like it. I'm like, that shit too hard. But I couldn't even get past the first boss. And then my homie was like, play Elden Ring when it first came out. And now 2 years later, I'm having a whole lot of fun, bro. Like, this is amazing. I see why it won Game of the Year if it did, bro. This is truly amazing, bro. Amazing.
Now, these should definitely be used at a distance, because at point blank range, their damage, range, and stance damage is going to be outclassed by most other melee weapons. But it is going to be a very nice projectile-based option that you don't have to spec into Faith or Intelligence for, and it probably is going to be best paired alongside some status effects types of builds. Because yeah, this weapon can be infused. Now, there are going to be a bunch of other Smith script weapons that don't fall under the throwable weapons class, but they do get projectile heavy attacks. There is an axe, of which you see on screen right now. There is a great hammer, and there also is a spear. The spear is very similar to like Spectral Lance, Ash of War, or the Follower's Javelin from Dark Souls 3. The great hammer does this cool spin to win and throw.
And I noticed a bunch of these weapons and stuff come from other From Software games too, bro. Like the Dark Moonblade sword, it was called something else in another game, like the I forgot. I was watching a video on it recently, but I know these games these weapons come from other From Software games. But let me know what's your favorite game from Software that I should check out. I was thinking about playing Lies of P2 when before this came out, but let me know if y'all want to see that.
It kind of looks like from like the hammer throwing sport. Now, they obviously don't consume any FP. They do work the Axe Talisman and the Spiked Cracks tier. They can proc status effects, but they do typically have longer animations and don't do as much stance damage as other weapons in their class. So if you're going to be using the Great Hammer and expecting to melt enemies' stance bar at a distance, don't. Now, there were a bunch of other cool weapons I came across when playing the DLC. One was called the Fire Knight's Greatsword. You guys are going to kick out of this one. This is basically a colossal sword that has a very similar design to the Flambeau. It doesn't get bleed. It can be infused. It gets the Godslayer's Greatsword light attack combo. and the Zweihander heavy poking attack. Yep, there is also another colossal sword called the Moon Irithyll Sword, basically identical design to the Troll's Knight Sword, but this one actually comes with great...
I think I got the Troll's Knight Sword too. I gotta test that out before the DLC come out. I gotta test that out in the base game.
Blade Phalanx as a skill. Don't know why they didn't actually include Great Blade Phalanx to the Troll's Knight Sword, but thankfully we have it now. Now the skill isn't actually called Great Blade Phalanx, had some kind of funky name that I forgot what it was like Super Phalanx or some shit. And no, I didn't actually test out the amount of stance damage that it actually does do. Obviously Carrion Phalanx does like a lot of stance damage, so hopefully this one probably just does a bit more. But it is going to be a unique skill that is specific for the Moon Irithyll Sword. Also I did test out a new bow called the Bone Bow, and I did have a unique skill called Rancor Shot, and this skill is basically like the Barrage skill, but it actually has a little bit of tracking. Okay, now time to...
Oh my god, chat. But this is going to be the end of this video, man. I'm going to break this one down into parts because it's getting too long. But if you guys enjoy this type of content, man, we should hit that like button, hit that sub button for more Elden Ring content, man. And I'll get up with you guys later, man. But thank you guys so much. Y'all take care, man.